Hi everyone. I hope you have been well. I am really good. I'm really good. I took some time off, so I hope you didn't miss me too much. But I've also been going through some of the questions that have come through on the Vastly Sage at amandatambuza.com email address, and the questions I have largely responded to. So people have asked questions that I have already addressed. So I recommend that you just if you did send through a question, you just go through some of the content that I've already posted on this channel. But let me take let me just answer another one that I got. Noltando is asking, you know, when starting a leadership or management role, what is the best way to address the team? She says she's certain many will have doubts about her appointment, but how does she give them hope that things will be okay? First of all, I just think that, if you've been appointed to a role, it's the assumption is that it is 100% on merit. You deserve to be there. I would recommend that you don't try to be like other people. You don't try and adopt other people's leadership styles, but you find your own. You find one that resonates with you, and rally the team around whatever the collective objective is. And I've seen many people rise up the ranks only to get to those roles and try to be something they're not, or try to be somebody else. And I think you cannot lose your sense of self. So have confidence in the fact that you deserve to be there. You are quite young, as you say. You're 25 years old, and you're quite terrified, but it's okay. And Oltando, just trust in your abilities and learn what you don't know. You'll be surprised that in fact you already know enough to get going with the role, and that you got the role because you have shown leadership abilities. So just keep going with that. Addressing your team is not, it's not like you suddenly have to learn new skills. No, you're talking to people. You're talking to human beings. You're going to be leading human beings that have got emotions, that have got feelings, that are struggling mentally, emotionally, and otherwise. So I hope that your leadership style is about people, putting your people at the center of what you do, and putting their well-being, and the fact that you want to afford them an environment through which they can thrive. I hope you can put that at the center of what you do, because leaders who are proven to do that have no doubt been rated as some of the best leaders. So I wish you all the best. Learn what you need to learn, and learn how to lead teams. It can be learned, but I again, I'm assuming you got there because you've displayed leadership qualities and leadership abilities. So don't doubt that. Don't doubt how you got there. Don't question how you got there, because your email has a lot of questioning things, doubt, and worrying about what people might say or what people think because you're young and you got this role. Don't worry about that. Just worry about becoming a great leader to your team, and all of those things can be learned. So absolutely understand what is the team dynamic, who is pulling what strings, because teams have got their own culture, and try and sign up to a culture that you can all agree to, that aligns to whatever the values of your organization are, and sit down with each and every person and say, who are you? What are you looking for in a leader, and how can you support them? And I think building and fostering team spirit comes as you try and pull the collective towards a common goal, and as you also grow confident in your abilities as a leader. Don't let people disrespect you because you're young. Don't let that happen. So be very clear about where the boundaries are, and be very clear about where the line is, and people must not cross the line. And conduct yourself as a leader, carry yourself as a leader, but don't be a walkover, don't be a pushover, but treat people with respect. So I think, I hope that somehow gets you going, because you're going to learn more things as your journey unfolds, and the more experience you get, the more confident you become. And I just say, don't lose yourself, because it's easy for people to try and copy others than actually find their own leadership style and find that which resonates with them. So yeah, I wish you all the best. Thank you. And then the other one is just looking for a mentor to help them navigate life's challenges. Sipo says he lost all hope in mentors years back, and he thought he could, navigate life by himself and be a lone ranger, but he soon realized that he can't do this thing alone. So again, there's no question, so I'm not answering your question, but what I'm going to say is please do go through the content on this channel, the mentorship sessions I've done, as well as all of the live sessions, Instagram live sessions that I've done previously as well. I addressed a lot of challenges, and people have asked me a lot of different questions, so I'm pretty sure you'll find an answer there. And if you don't, feel free to email back and say, what the question is, because there is no question. But I most certainly wish you all the best. And it's with every journey, you have to just boldly walk through, and learn and pick up what you need to pick up. You don't always need a mentor holding your hand to do that, but it's great to have someone you can bounce off ideas from. And mentors are all around us. In fact, I did a mentorship session on the differences between a mentor, a sponsor, and a coach. I really think it would serve you well to go through that content and see what exactly are you looking for, because you might think you need a mentor, but you don't need a mentor. You need a coach, or you need a sponsor. So I do wish you all the best. Others are just asking me for jobs. There are no mentorship questions. And the other one was, and this one came from Zanele. She said, have you ever had to toe the line between knowing a stroke demanding your worth and being grateful for what you have, particularly in the work space? And then she gives quite a bit of context. You never have to be grateful for just what you get if you're not being disrespected. If you're being disrespected, if you're not being respected and honored and treated with respect in your role, I will never advocate for you to just go around begging people for approval and taking and being grateful for what you get. No. Your worth must be displayed through your work, and your worth must be displayed through you talking about what you do and making sure that the right people know. And again, this is something I've addressed in another mentorship session where I talked about, somebody must know about what you do. Somebody in a position of influence and in a position of power, or being able to do something about your situation. And I mean, why and Zanella continues to say, she didn't get a bonus this year, and even though they speak highly of her work, it doesn't translate into remuneration. Again, honestly, the times it's almost impossible to comment on whether you got paid a bonus or not, or an increase in this particular period. I guess I'm an employer myself, so the first priority is to try and preserve jobs, which means you have to have as many cash reserves as possible, or as much money as possible. So you want to withdraw on paying bonuses, rather keep the jobs. So, but I mean, I've had to face that scenario, and I made a different decision, and that I've had to balance ever since. So I don't necessarily believe that you're not getting a bonus this year is anyway an indication of your worth. It absolutely is a period that we're in, and I don't know what your line manager said, to that effect, but I really think that you must be clear about what the expectations are in your role so that you get X remuneration. So when I say X, I'm not saying the actual amount, but the expectation that, okay, if you are rated A this year, this is kind of the scale you should be looking at. It's okay to ask those questions, and don't just sit in the corner and wonder. It is your career, it is you put in the effort, and if you have a certain expectation of remuneration, you should actually address that. And I don't necessarily want to push an agenda that says your worth is determined by how much you get paid. No, you decide what your worth is, and I hope that your worth is determined by more than just pay, but by the opportunities you're presented, by what you bring to the table, by how you deal with other people, how you collectively, or how you contribute towards the collective vision of the organization. I hope that you know that your worth is not just in monetary terms. Of course, you do a job, you must get paid for it, and I hope you did negotiate well upfront, because it's not always easy to fix things after the fact. So, so if you feel like you're being shortchanged in a way, I think you should address that head on, with humility, and with the understanding that in next year you would love to get a bonus, so you would like to know what can you do more of and what can you do differently, and try and record. When I say record, write down those things and send a follow-up email after you've had the meeting and say, this is what we have agreed upon, these are the expectations in terms of what I need to deliver in order to be considered for additional remuneration. So yeah, demanding your worth is, you know, you don't have to demand your worth if you carry yourself as worthy, and if you have boundaries around what people can and can't do. In fact, I'm in my head, I'm trying to fit, what does demand your worth look like. I've never had to demand my worth, but I've been in situations where I have to call people to order, in order to allow me the space to do my job. So I really think that, you should take it head on. First of all, believe you're worthy of being there, and that you're worthy of the pay that you're hoping for. And go for it. Talk about it with your line manager. Don't just let it slide. I hope that is helping. Yeah, and then the rest of the questions I really I've already addressed. So let me take one that I possibly haven't to the degree, but I have addressed it in the mentorship session as well. Refilwe wants to know, how does one break into the public speaking world? Are there agencies that cater specifically to this, public speakers, that is, in South Africa? And then she asks about publishing a book. I think she just finished writing her first book, and she wants to know, are there literary agents in where she can submit a script. Yeah, so let me start with the one about publishing. I'm self-published because I don't believe in taking my story and my book to publishing houses. Why did I choose to publish myself, to do my own publishing? It's because, first of all, I like to own my IP, so I like to own the things I've created. And two, I wasn't really dependent on a publishing company to fund my projects, so I was able to fund my own projects, my own books, my own distribution of books. So I do the entire thing, the entire value chain. I work with a company that helps self-published authors. But you must be able, and this is where publishing houses sometimes come in and help authors. If you don't have a very strong public profile, or a strong ability to market your book yourself, then publishing houses usually carry that, and they usually carry the budget and the cost of that. So, I mean, if your story is compelling and worth telling, keep knocking on every single door. authors will tell you that probably their manuscripts were scratched out multiple times before they actually got their final deal. So I say do your research and find a publisher who's interested in your story. But also, when you do your research, understand that you don't send your whole manuscript to a publisher. You send them. There's like almost like a summary type version that you would send to them. Because if you keep going around sending your manuscript to hundreds of agents, someday your story is published and you don't even know about it. So so protect your IP, but be very clear about how you're gonna go about it, and who you're gonna approach and why. And because not every agent is gonna publish your story, so I don't know what the book is about. But also, I mean, you should have had something in mind when you were writing the book. So I think just do your homework. And how does one get into public speaking? I'm not a trained public speaker. I just speak because I have something to say. And I think I have something compelling to say. I have a story, and I have the ability to stand up and capture a crowd, or capture an audience. And there are places like Toastmasters, I think, that teach people how to do public speaking, but that's not the kind of speak. They teach you how to speak on a public platform. They don't teach you what topics to tackle, how to go about that, as far as I understand. I don't know. Check it out. No one can I don't believe anyone can teach you, particularly about topics that resonate from your heart. Yeah, you can learn how to talk about fourth industrial revolution. You can read up on the content and deliver that, but the actual success of speakers is not so much the content, it's how they're delivering it. It's the impact of their delivery. And I've listened to people who know a particular topic, are experts at a particular topic, but they suck as speakers. They don't capture you. They don't captivate you at all. So again, it's who are you? What are you about? What are you about? Why should people listen to you? And if you can answer those questions, then you find that message that you want people to listen to, and you start practicing, you start delivering that to smaller audiences. But don't just want to speak for the sake of speaking. I can't advise you on public speaking as a career, as something that you learn, because that's not what I do. I do it because I have something to say. And I'm in leadership development, so part of that entails talking to people. So I wish you all the best, but again, do your homework, please. That is very important. All right, so another one, Busisiwe says, she's a 33-year-old aspiring entrepreneur, and she's mainly interested in manufacturing and real estate. She bought her first investment property in East London, and she's currently looking to expand her portfolio to commercial, specifically student accommodation. And then she also wants to start a toilet manufacturing company in the next 2 years, and etc. And she's partnered with a young female to produce skincare products. So she wants guidance in terms of doing due diligence, how to run a business, how to create a system, and how to position ourselves in the market. Please do your research on the internet, Busisiwe, and I've addressed this topic. I think it was the first mentorship session. So watch that, please. And please just do your research before you get involved in a million things. Just a very simple business plan template will give you the questions, the answers to the questions. You must put the answers to the questions. Your due diligence, you should have done that before you even get involved in some of these things. So let's assume then you have an opportunity to just revisit. So go ahead, type on the internet business plan template, and also type you know, whatever it is, because you have so many things going. I don't know which one you are actually asking me to help you address, but either way, you must do your own research on the internet, and you can watch the mentorship session that I did initially. I think the first one, yes. But all the best once again. Yeah, and that's actually pretty much it. Yeah, that's what I've had on my inbox. So I think it's been a fantastic time with everyone, and I hope that you can revisit these sessions that I've done, and time and again find what you're looking for, because I actually spent so much time and preparing for them, and so much time answering those questions, and I've gone quite in depth in a lot of them. I really think that it's worth you spending time watching them, and take out what you need from them. But again, I've said it even before. I can only guide, I can only help, but I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I'm not gonna be the one that does the things for you. You must do them yourself. And I hope in a way these sessions have been helpful, and this one will be my final one. And I'll see again when I have capacity to do more. But I really wish you well. I just want you to keep going. I want you to never pull yourself back or hold yourself back. Please use the internet. It's the greatest source of information and the greatest resource center. And with the internet, you don't even have to know what you're looking for. Just type the keyword and you'll find something. And please don't be lazy to do your own homework. And don't just jump into businesses if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know even what the vision is, because you are going to suffer really badly. And I would really say, if you're new to business, try and focus on one thing, learn from that, make that successful, and then move on to the next thing, or have that as the platform that creates all of the other opportunities. Don't be don't be caught up in this trap of serial entrepreneurship. No. Yeah, I have multiple businesses because I have been a business person since I was 23 years old. So even now, the things I get involved with, there are things I don't get involved with because it's not my passion, and I'm not interested. So because there's an opportunity, it doesn't mean it's for you. Just be very discerning about what you're choosing and why you're choosing it. Again, the mentorship sessions I've done, I emphasize the why when you're starting a business. So watch that, please, and get the insights that you may be looking for. So go ahead and live your lives. I am preparing to shoot Voiceless Sage season 2. So that is why I am going to stop doing these mentorship sessions, just so that I can focus on that. And I have no doubt you will be enjoying the content that we will be posting continuously on this channel. And thank you so much for your interest. Stay subscribed and turn on your notifications, because I will be posting things that I don't announce about. So yeah, thank you so much, and I wish you all the best. And go ahead and just live and just try things and learn. And don't be afraid to not get it right, because that's also how you learn. But if you can just make sure you're a little more considerate in what you're doing. So thank you very much, and take good care. Thanks. Bye.